Okay. So when we talk about the ocean, a couple of things that we need to get out of the way. All right. First of all, what is the ocean, right? Remember that the Earth is primarily covered in water. It isn't primarily made out of water, right? We've talked about this before, that the Earth on its surface is mostly covered by water, but water does not make the majority of the Earth. Does that make sense? The Earth is primarily rock and metal, right? Anyway. Body of water known as the global ocean. So technically, when we talk about these different oceans, we're actually just talking about different parts of the one global ocean. Okay? I would recommend taking notes on this, y'all. There was a note check due last week. There will be another one due. You turn them in by turning in a Google Doc or a picture of your notebooks. Okay. Ms. Donaldson, just a second. I have if you'll pick up some, I'm going to print out some notes for a couple people. Let me print those out right now. Come on, computer, you can do it. Okay, all right. So let's. What's going on? Oh no, what's happening? All right. Oh, it does not like that. Goop. All right. Thanks, Mr. Donaldson. All right. So 5 major oceans: the Pacific, the Atlantic, the Indian, Southern, and Arctic. So there are 5 oceans that comprise the global ocean. And we can see here, let me turn the light off really quick. We can see here the divisions, right? So this is the Atlantic up to these blue lines. This is the Indian. The Pacific wraps around the Arctic and the Southern. Okay? All right. I think that this is funny right here, this area. This is an island called Svalbard. Like, why didn't we, anyway, I just think it's funny that they're like, no, the Atlantic does go up to Svalbard, but anyway. It's a funny way to draw the line. Okay. So let's talk about the Pacific Ocean, all right? The Pacific is the largest and deepest of the 5 parts of the global ocean. It covers more of Earth's surface than all of the land area put together. So if you take all of the continents of Earth and you squish them together, they are smaller than the Pacific Ocean. All right? That is crazy. Also, fun little fact for you, if you take all the land mass on Earth, the dry land mass on Earth, and you squish it together, it's also the same size as the surface of Mars. That's interesting, huh? I mean, approximately, right? Okay, so Pacific Ocean, largest and deepest, covers more than Howard has an average depth of 4.3 kilometers. Its name comes from the Latin word pacifico, meaning peaceful. So the peaceful ocean was given this name because it is calmer. There are fewer storms in the Pacific Ocean. Yep. Pacific has fewer storms. You can show them to me in a picture through Canvas. I can show you how. During Flex. Okay. Questions about the Pacific. It's cold, it's deep, and it's big. Like this, it is truly crazy how big the Pacific Ocean is. Like, look at this image. Let's do, how about, there we go. Here's New Zealand. Here's Australia. There's North America. Hawaii is right here. Look at that. Yeah, it should be on the table right over there. Okay, isn't that crazy? Almost half of the surface of the Earth is the Pacific Ocean. It's like 40-something%. Craziness. Anyway. Okay. So, the Pacific. Now when we talk about the Atlantic Ocean and the Indian Ocean, I've clumped them together. They are relatively similar. Smaller than the Pacific, they are still very large. They've been super, super important for trade. Humanity has been putting ships out to the Atlantic Ocean. For a very long time. They are not quite as deep. They are shallower. They're shallower than the Pacific. Does anyone know what this landmass is? Anyone want to take a guess? It is not Africa. It looks like Africa. Because Africa does have an island off to its eastern coast. This is India. This is India here. This is Sri Lanka. This island. This picture was taken from space in I think 1964, 1965. Pretty cool. All right. The Atlantic and the Indian. The Southern Ocean and the Arctic Ocean. They are quite a bit smaller even than the Atlantic and Indian. They have icebergs that float along the waters. They come off of the ice shelves that are in Antarctica and Greenland. So the Arctic Ocean actually covers the North Pole, right? There is no land at the North Pole. Why do I hear music? It's like, wow. You sure it's not yours, Alan? The fact that you just paused it and the music stopped is very suspicious. Okay. Questions about this? This is yeah. People oftentimes forget about the Arctic Ocean and the Southern Ocean. Okay. Straightforward. All right. We'll talk about this for now. We're not going to get into too much detail about the different zones of the ocean's depths. So there are a few different ways to categorize the depths of the ocean. We're going to use the light model, which is how much light is available at each level. Okay. There are the 5 different zones: Sunlit Zone, Twilight Zone, Midnight Zone, Abyss, and the Hadal Zone. Some people say Hadal. Hadal, Hadal, yeah. I've heard it said both ways. This word. Hadal, Hadal. Do we want to go through these 5 really quick? Okay. All right, going on quickly here. So the sunlit zone, 0 to 200 meters under the surface. So there's actual sunlight in this area of the ocean. And that means that plant-like organisms that get their energy from the sun are limited to this portion of the ocean, okay? Now you can eat sunlight. Taste the sun. All right. So this is the sunlit zone. Between 0 and 200 meters down. Has anyone been scuba diving?
No one's too terrified.
Scuba diving is a lot of fun. I have been scuba diving, but not in the ocean. No, thank you. Scuba diving, not in the ocean. Yeah, I've been scuba diving in lakes and pools and ponds, but never in the ocean. Well, you go scuba diving in pools to like learn, you know?
Honestly, what I think that there should be, is there like a special kind of scuba suit with like weights so a person can scuba dive in a salt lake?
Yeah, you can put a weight belt on.
I don't want to do that. And I know I would have to have a weight belt because the stuff in the water is going to float.
Yes, the salinity of the water. Okay, so, all right, so this is the sunlit zone. We're just going to go quick. You don't need to get everything written down on these. But, yeah, the sunlit zone, 200 meters. All right, the Twilight Zone. All right. If you haven't seen the Twilight Zone, it's an old, like, kind of scary show. All right. The Twilight Zone is between 200 and 1,000 meters. 200 and 1,000 meters. Twilight. Okay? So this is not the zone where you will find sparkling vampires.
Those aren't real vampires.
You will, however, find an area that is like Twilight, meaning that it is dark. So the Twilight Zone, it's kind of dark, but there's still some light left over. There are some plant-like organisms that can live at these depths. Okay?
Don't also like some of the bioluminescent creatures live in this area?
No, not yet.
Oh, they go further?
It's further down. All right, so as we go down, pressure increases and light decreases. So the pressure meaning the amount of weight that is being subjected to every portion of anything, right? So if you were to take like a soda bottle, and it was a soda bottle that you had already emptied out, and then you screwed the lid back on and you took it down with you into the ocean, it would just get crushed, right? Well, at these depths, submarines start to get crushed. Okay, down to like 1,000 meters. Nuclear submarines from the U.S. Navy can only go down 500 meters. That's their maximum dive depth, 500 meters. So that's in the Twilight Zone, but we're not even close to the bottom of the ocean. Yeah.
Do you have any theories on any like submarines that could go, like how to make one that would be able to go lower?
Well, there are submarines that go lower, but they have to be specially designed.
I know, but I mean lower.
Lower than anything currently ever has. I mean, I'm sure there are designs.
There's a lot we haven't been able to check out.
That's true. Okay, so going on. The Midnight Zone. This is between 1,000 and 4,000 meters. So this is 3 kilometers worth of water.
This is where the shiny toys are.
Yep, this is where things that bioluminesce, meaning they have glowing parts of their bodies. Don't ask me what this thing is. I have no idea. It looks like a firework.
It's not.
Well, I know it's not a firework.
It's a weird.
Yeah, it seems like some sort of sea jelly. My guess is that it's a siphonophore, but I do not know for sure. Okay. You can find most of the ocean floor at about 4,000 meters. So remember, the average depth of the Indian Ocean is what, like 3.8 kilometers? The average depth of the Pacific Ocean is 4.1 kilometers. So if you pick just any random spot in the ocean, most of the time the ocean floor will be between 3.5 and 5 kilometers down. Okay? Moving on. The abyss, or the abyssal zone. Between 4,000 and 6,000 meters, now we're completely pitch black. There's absolutely no light. So you wouldn't even be able to look up and see the sun.
You cannot taste the sun.
Yeah, I can't taste the sun at these depths. So at these depths, you would just be, if you were to go to this, this makes me feel uncomfortable, but if you were to go to these depths, you would just float and you would have no orientation, well, if you could survive the pressure. Yeah. But you would have no way to orient yourself what way was up, what way was down. You could make bubbles, but you wouldn't be able to see what direction they went. That's true. You could try and feel where the bubbles go. Aiden?
I would say if you do something, there's pretty cool features. Make a mouth shark.
Make a mouth shark? Yep.
You have to look and you.
No, we'll leave that. And like, this is where the colossal squid and giant squid hang out.
And the whales.
Yes.
You don't die to that. You'll die
As the video last time said, so have fun with that down there. Yes, Brendan?
So basically, the abyssal
Uh-huh.
kind of like the void
In Subnautica? Yeah.
yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
Subnautica was based on a real crab, right?
All right. So going forward, now the Hadal Zone or Hadal Zone.
Isn't it named after
Hades, yes, it is named after Hades. The Greek, the Greek version of hell
Well,
Because like that's the Satan zone doesn't sound weird.
the Satan zone.
Pressures. So between 6,000 and 11,000 meters, okay, the pressure here is insane. All of this happens in the trenches, okay? So generally you don't find like a flat area that is in this zone. It is all down into ocean trenches. Okay, the Mariana Trench is the deepest of the trenches, and the specific point that is the deepest point is called the Challenger Deep. It's real deep. So the Challenger Deep, I believe, is 10,980 some meters below the surface. So I want you to consider how much water this is. Okay? How much water this is. So, are you all familiar with the Burj Khalifa, the tallest building in the world? It's in the United Arab Emirates. It's a very interesting looking building. It is the world's tallest building. Oh, come on. Right? It looks fake.
That does look like video game graphics.
So what is the top floor? Is it just to get a height, or is people actually look?
Well, up here, like they're actual, it's like a hotel and apartment building, right? Yeah, there are people that live up here.
Why would you put yourself up?
Because you can see for like ever.
You're just like, hey, I can see the other side.
The Burj Khalifa, it is 829 meters tall. Okay, 829 meters. The Challenger Deep is over 10,000 meters.
So how many of those is it?
That's like
It's about 10.
Oh, wow.
It's about 10 Burj Khalifas deep. Okay? It's deep. All right? So the ocean is kind of big and has a lot of water in it. All right? Science. All right. So those are the different areas of the ocean's depths. Okay? Here's what I want you to do. Take a moment and discuss with a neighbor what you thought was most interesting about this short discussion about the depths of the ocean. Take 3 minutes to do so. Ready, go.